Hello, Accelerated Math 7-8 students. We are starting Module 10, Lesson 7, and it is called Mark Up and Mark Down Problems, and we find that on page 56 in my comp book. I'm turning to that now, and go ahead and play that out really quickly. So here it is, okay. Mark Up and Mark Down Problems, our goal for today. Today we will practice mark up and mark down problems. The thing that I want you to be thinking about with these types of problems is that you have a specific amount, usually a cost, something that costs a specific amount, and then what companies do is they take the price and they increase it so that they can make a profit. Because whenever a store sells something, they have to buy the something and then they have to turn around and sell it in order to make their money back. But if they just sell it for exactly what they paid for it, then they won't earn anything. And so what they have to do is they have to mark the price up in order to earn something. So that's what a markup is. A markdown is where they will discount the price of something so that the buyer doesn't have to pay as much money and they make less. But their reasoning for wanting to do that is that if they have a lot of those items where they mark them down, then more people will come in and buy them because more people will want to buy them because they cost less. And so that would be a markdown. All right, so it's just a change in price. So today we will practice markup and markdown problems. The question that I want you to be thinking about is, how does a markup change? That's supposed to be change. I apologize. I will fix that. How does a markup change the original price? Let me fix those two things. That doesn't even make sense. I was writing too fast. Sorry. How does a markup change the original price? Okay. Things to know. These are vocabulary lists, all right? And you need to know these vocabulary words because these vocabulary words are basically how you figure out markup and discount problems. So a markup is the amount of increase in price. A markdown is the amount of decrease in price. The original price is the starting price. So if we have a product, let's say this pen, okay? So we would say that the original price for this pen, I would say it is 27 cents, okay? It's also called a cost or a wholesale price. So when you're buying them from the warehouse who sells tons and tons and tons of pens, they're going to say this one pen original price is 27 cents. Then a store is going to turn around, like Walmart or any store that sells pens, Staples, any of those, and the store is going to change the original price to a selling price by increasing the cost. So instead of it being 27 cents in the store, they're going to charge you $1. Okay? And so that selling price would be the $1 because it's the original price plus the markup or minus the markdown. Okay? So the selling price is actually the price that shows the change. Okay? The markup or markdown rate is the amount used to change the price. So they'll give you a specific percent, it'll give you a fraction, it'll give you a decimal, it'll say 2/3 off, it will say a 75% markup. So it gives you the rate and you use that rate to figure out how much you're going to add to the original cost or how much you're going to subtract from the original cost to get your new selling price. Okay? So a lot of this in understanding this lesson is just figuring out what in the world is going on. Is the store trying to make a profit? And if they are they marking up so they're charging you, the buyer, more? Or are they trying to provide you a sale so that they'll get you in the door so they're making their price go down so that you'll buy more stuff? That's what we're figuring out today. That's what today's lesson is. All right, so we're going to practice a problem with it. And here's what that problem looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and uncover it so that you can see it. And we're going to try it. Okay? It says, a brand of sneakers costs $29 to make. Then Foot Locker buys them for that cost. So that's the original price, $29. Foot Locker puts the sale price as $69. What is the markup rate and what is the markup amount? Okay, so the way that we solve markup problems is we use the percent increase, the percent decrease information that we learned a couple lessons ago, because you've got to tell me what happened to it. Okay, and so if we're trying to figure out the markup rate, that means how much did it increase by or how much did it decrease by, and then you're going to actually figure out the amount. So that's the actual dollar amount that we added to it. Okay, so we know that the original price, okay, I'm going to call it OP, original price was $29. We know that the sales price is $69. So your job is to figure out what is the markup rate, okay? So there's something that we need to talk about. Is this did they increase the costs or did they decrease the costs by looking at this? The original price was $29. The new store price was $69. So what did they do to it? They increased the price, okay? So we could also say the original price is considered the old. We can say the sales price is considered the new. Do you remember this from a couple of lessons ago? I hope you do. So what do we do when we're trying to figure this out? If the old is less than the new, we need to subtract the difference, right? So we're going to take 69 minus 29 and then divide it by 29 to figure out the percent of change, right? And that percent of change that you're figuring it out is actually your markup rate. Okay, so let's figure it out. 69 minus 29 is 40, so we get 40 divided by 29. Can that be simplified in any way? I don't see anything that they have in common, so we just have to do the math. 40 divided by 29, right? So we're going to put 2 times would be too much, so 1 time. And you should get 11 remaining. So we're going to bring that down. And then 29 times 4. 29 times 4, that's 6, 36. 8, 9, 10, 11. Oops, just shy of too much, so we're going to have to go 3. Okay, so we have 29 times 3. I got 87. Track that out. Bring down another 0 because we're trying to find the percent. So 4 is 116. Let's try 6. 6 is 54. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 174. Okay, try 7. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 203. Oh, we're getting closer. Is 8 too big? Just too much. Okay, so it has to be 7. So that's 203. We're getting closer. 7, 2. Okay. Is this, we should probably go 1 more just to be safe. So let's try 9. 18. That's good. Okay. So we have 261. All right. So if this is where we are, the decimal point is sitting right here, then we know that our markup rate is 137.9%, or you could say it's 138% markup rate. That's a huge markup rate, 137, which makes sense because you're basically taking the cost of the shoes and you're more than doubling it. Because if you just doubled it, then it would be 100%, right? But we went over doubling it because doubling 29 gives you 58, and we're at 69. So we are actually a full 100 and then some. So that's why it's 138% markup rate. So you figured out the markup rate. Now we have to figure out the markup amount. Okay? And so it's saying that you have 29, no, sorry, 69 equals 138% of 29. Okay? And that's what we get. And so the amount that we have to add to our costs would be 40, because that's what you get is 40. If you take 69 equals 138 over 100 times 29 over 1, you should get 69. Okay? All right, and that's how you do it. So you just figure out what the rate is, and then your markup amount is what was the actual amount that you added to the original, which we added 40 to the original to get to 69, and so that's how you find the actual markup amount. Okay? So we're building and building and building. I got asked yesterday by one of you guys, are we just still using the stuff that we keep learning and keep reusing it and keep reusing it? The answer is yes, because everything that we're working on with percent, it builds on to the next idea. And so you saw figuring out part equals percent of whole, then we went to quantity equals percent of whole, then we went to a change in percent, so that was percent increase, percent decrease, and then we went into figuring out how to work with all of those different types, and now markup and discount problems are still using the percent increase and the percent decrease to figure out your answers. And so as you can see, they're all interchangeable. They all link together, okay? So going back to our goal for today, today we will practice markup and markdown problems, and then how does a markup change the original price? Hopefully you figured out how the markup changes the original price. It's a pretty simple one. Don't know if we will put practice problems on the board just because we're really working with word problems, and so basically you just have to read what it's asking you to do, label, 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 and then use all of the different things that we've been working on to try to figure out how to get the answer. So trying it is best. That's what I keep saying, is that the more practice you make with this, the easier it's going to be. And that's it. All right. I will see you later. Have a good one. Bye.